Hello out there, Leo friends. This is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life. I am bringing you your November reading right on November 1st. I actually started these, I don't know how long ago, calling myself getting ahead of the game, but you know how it goes. So Leo, just getting you ready, hoping that you did all your cleansing, clearing, and cleaning out and preparing your body during the months of September and October. If you haven't, November is still a good time to get that in. Do your blood cleansers, your lymphatic cleansers, all of that to get ready for the holiday season. And also it's a time to meditate and get yourself prayed up in case you experience seasonal depression and things like that that happen in the winter time. I am wearing my Hurricane Ivan hat because we're in hurricane season. Down here in the NC, we just had a heck of a storm yesterday, and we made it through. So shout out to all of those people who understand where I'm coming from. I will be reading from Colette Baron reads the Wisdom of the Oracle today for you, Leo friends, and I will also be reading from the tarot. This is 3 cards from Colette Baron Reid, and that'll give you an indication of what you need to be focused on individually, collectively. And then I will also be reading from the Sun and Moon Tarot as well, just to kind of clear up, clean up, and follow up. All right, so I'm going to jump right in here. We've got Clean It Up. Like I had said, Gina, clean it up. It's time to clear up, clean up, Leo. So clear out your space, clean up your space, clean up your inside, your outside, clear your mind, clear your body, clear your spirit. Clear everything out. Do what you have to do. This whole month of November, you want to do that to get yourself ready. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. We know that winter months can be tough for everybody, but it's time to clear and clean. And so that's what this message is about. So wherever that applies to you, if it's your house that needs to be cleaned up, then start with that. If it's some mental clutter that you've got going on in your head, then clear that up. And also in your body as well, just like I was saying before. I don't really feel like I need to do much repeating of that. Also, if you're dealing with relationship issues, then you'll want to clear up any unfinished business as far as that's concerned. So if you have aught against your neighbor, then go ahead and get that situated for yourself. Don't mess around. Don't mess around with that. You don't want to drag that into the new year, and the new year energy is coming. I will ask you to keep in mind that it is a Mercury retrograde right now. We are in excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that, but my nose. We are clearing. We are entering a Mercury retrograde period. So that means communication can sometimes be off. Sometimes people can say things that they don't mean, or sometimes people can take things in ways that that it wasn't intended. So you just want to be mindful if that is your situation. If you do have to go and approach somebody, then really be gentle. Be gentle with them, be gentle with yourself, but still get your point across. Mercury retrograde doesn't mean that you have to clam up and shut down and bite your tongue, but you just have to be a little bit more mindful about the way that information is presented. All right, so the second card up, we have Message in a Bottle. It's in reverse, followed by Yang in reverse. And so for Colette Baron Reid, she asked for us to read the protection message when we get cards that come in reverse. So I'm going to jump right to the book and see what she has to say. All right, so protection message for Message in the Bottle. And I'll just hold this up right, because sometimes I feel like, you just need to see it that way. Are you refusing to acknowledge the signs because you want things as you want them? Red flags are not pretty decorations for you to admire. They are warning you for a reason. If something doesn't sit right with you, trouble could be hiding in the bushes. Don't ignore the signs. Spirit always has your best interest at heart and will draw your attention to what you are overlooking. So this looks like some messages are coming through. These messages are coming through intuitively for you. Maybe that's why it's in reverse. So they're not direct message. They're not direct messages. They are indirect messages, or they could be intuitive messages. So if something doesn't feel right to you, if something isn't, I'm not, follow your intuition and follow your spirit, because your spirit is speaking to you and letting you know what to put your hands on and what not to put your hands on, what to spend your time on and what not to spend your time on, what to focus your energy into and what not to focus your energy into. And trust that process. Like, a lot of times we get these messages and then we second guess the message by saying, well, maybe I'm being to this or to that, or maybe I'm not being understanding, or maybe I'm, just maybe I need to check yourself. Nothing wrong with checking yourself. But when you keep getting these messages over and over again, when things start, and it doesn't sit right with you, then pay attention to that. All right, we have Yang in reverse. Does that make it a yin? I don't know. We'll get ready to find out. So I will be reading the Yang message of protection. All right, be mindful of the tendency toward, be mindful about the tendency toward impulsive action, overconfidence, and aggressive behavior, Leo. Just say. Think before you act, lest you find yourself in a situation that will lead to uncomfortable consequences. Be sure you really want what you're chasing after, because you might be sorry when you get it. The appearance of this card isn't cause for fear, for life is all about learning lessons. Practice temperance, diplomacy, and thoughtful consideration before making a move. And I'm going to say that this really does accompany this card, because those messages that you have coming through are probably giving you an indication of when you're moving too aggressively, or when you're moving in a way that is that's going to, slow you down or cause you issues or something else to that effect. So we don't want to have that happen. So just pay attention, be listening. Don't be so aggressive and assertive. Don't push, because pushing is not called for at this time. To be honest with you, pushing is not called for at this time at all. It's really a time to kind of ease out, just because of the season, and also because we're going into the winter where things are more dormant, things are more quiet, and we have to, if we're following within the nature of things, then we are also following within the nature of slowing down a bit and easing in and allowing things to come to us, as opposed to us trying to force the issue. So pay attention there. When you get those kinds of messages, again, when you're getting these subliminals, and then also when you feel like you're pushing and it's not going to work. And then also because of that Mercury retrograde coming in, that has come in rather, then you'll want to be mindful of that as well. Forcing an issue is not going to work, and that's in relationships, that's in everything. Forcing issues is not going to work. All right, so we're going to go right to the tarot and do some follow-up. I'm doing a straight through. Straight through is just reading the cards. I just do a particular spread. Basically what I do is just let the cards lay out and let the cards tell the story. All right, so, all right. Thank you very much. This message is for Leo. All right, we got the Ace of Cups in reverse. Seems like there's some love lost somewhere, followed by the Princess of Swords in reverse. I feel like this Princess of Swords in reverse is about that communication issue that we've been talking about. Knowing when to communicate, when and how to communicate. Swords represent speech. They represent thought. They represent, the expression of thought. So it's not just your thinking, but it's also the expression of the thinking that goes there. So that's definitely Mercurial in nature, and it's coming in reverse. So I'm just saying that that's like being mindful of that, particularly if you're dealing with love relationships, or if you're dealing with something of an emotional nature or something that is emotionally charged. We have the Four of Cups here. Four of Cups tells me you have quite a few things in your hands, but it's time to do some self-reflecting. You've got to reflect also on what it is that you have gained over time and what it is that's within you that's blossoming. I see also that you have on your mind something that was lost or something that you missed, something that you missed in the process. Don't worry about what you missed in the process. Worry about or don't worry about it, but think about what you gained in the process, right? So you have many things to be thankful for. Focus on that instead of focusing on that which you couldn't get your hands on or what you couldn't do. We've got Six of Pentacles here in reverse. Looks like some money issues might be either money issues or something. It could be it could be job, it could be something that you're looking for that's very tangible, that doesn't seem to be coming the way that you need for it to. I think you're going to have to pass through this November season. I think you can expect to have to pass through this November season before you'll start to see the fruits of that coming through. Don't forget that you have put it out there. Just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Once you ask for what it is that you want, then release it and let it go. And then start working on some of these things. Start working on the communication issues. Deal with your gratefulness, be in a position of being grateful. And then we have the Princess of Pentacles following that in the upright position. That's when you're kind of getting a handle on your financial situation or getting a handle on your life situation, and things start materializing, and then they're going to materialize in such a way that you didn't really know where they came from, right? That's the way God blesses us. We got the Lovers here. So maybe this communication that needs to happen between you and a partner, something that, again, is emotionally charged, will be able to bring that relationship back together for you. Take your time with that communication. Again, we are in Mercury retrograde. I've got Justice followed by that, followed up in reverse. All right, so Justice in reverse to me. Justice represents a certain particular type of balance in life, in all of life, right? So, there's you balancing within yourself, like balancing your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual, right? That's one form of balance. But this justice to me is like an overall sense that things are good and things are right in your world, right? So to me, this in reverse says that maybe you don't feel like things are right in your world, but that goes back to this message in a bottle. Things may not be right in your world, but what you got to do is pay attention to what isn't right and then step away from it. Then as you step away from it, then things start to kind of line up for you. If you're feeling like things aren't fair, if things aren't right, oh, I did this and I did this and I did this and it's not working out for me or whatever, there's still a little bit of gratitude work that needs to be done, and there's still some communication work that needs to be done here. There's still some listening that needs to be done on your part, Leo. And then again, you don't want to push it. Don't push it. Don't force it. Let it happen naturally. I remember that song from back in the day. Don't push it. Don't force it. Let it happen naturally. So that's what you got to do. 8 of Wands is in reverse. Again, that's the prayers that are going up. This is about this, and this is about this. There's some things that you put out that you wanted. You're waiting for those things to come back. It doesn't seem like they're coming back fast enough. That doesn't seem fair to you. Get it, understand it, but guess what? Try not to, you got to release it. Again, this goes back to like you're pushing. Leo, don't do that. Let it go. Let it go. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be letting it go. I also feel like this thing right here, this communication with the partner, with the loved one, the one that's emotionally charged, is a part of this cleaning up process. Looks like November is just some last minute business for you, Leo. All right, so Prince of Swords and the Six of Cups. So we got the Prince of Swords and the Six of Cups. This love relationship. Again, we're talking about communication, and communication bringing that back together for you. There's a lack of communication going on here. I don't know. What I would do is just like take my time in November and think about it. Think about if you want to have this conversation in November, or if you want to wait until the Mercury retrograde is over with. Again, don't push it. Don't force anything. But I'm feeling like the communication that's going to happen in the love relationship is going to be positive, and it's going to be positive for that relationship. You just got to clear the air. You got to clear the air. Clearing the air is going to help that, and then things come together. So I've got the Ace of Wands followed by the Three of Cups here. That means that, to me, that there's there's passion there. There's something you feel very passionate about. And then, Leo, you are a fire sign, so you carry a lot of passion with you. It's something that there's something that you feel really, really strong about, and I'm seeing it in two different places. I'm seeing it in this love relationship, or this emotional relationship, or this emotionally charged situation where you have to communicate. And then I'm also seeing it in relationship to your physical existence. Could be health also, but it also could be your money. And I think if it's health that you've been asking for and you've been praying for, I feel that you are going to get it. It's just going to take it's just going to take some time, and it's going to take some communication. All right, and then we've got the Five of Wands here in reverse. So I feel like all of this is like this, all of this clearing up, cleaning up, listening to yourself, listening to your intuition, and not pushing an agenda. It's about letting go. I'm surprised you haven't gotten a let go card up in here. But to me, it's definitely about communicating with your partner and letting go of what you have asked for as far as your physical well-being is concerned. The money or the house or the job or whatever. It's like Spirit knows already. Spirit knows already what you want anyway. It's really about you being able to articulate with clarity what it is that you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you be praying for something. It's like, well, why don't God just give it to me? Because he knows what I need. Yeah, he knows what he knows what you need. Or she knows what you need. Or they know what you need. But guess what? You got to know what you need. You have to be clear about it, because what's going to happen is Spirit's going to give you what it is that you need, and then you're going to push it away or turn away or whatever, because you're not clear. It's really about you at the end of the day. So this is a strength building time for you. It's a time to gain strength, garner strength, and garner inner strength more than anything else. And all of this, like all of these Colette Baron reads to me, just point to that. It's like getting your inner strength together, getting your clarity and your inner strength. Yeah. And then we got Five of Swords in reverse. Five of Swords in reverse. This is to me like you see the issues, you see the problems, you see what it is that's going on here. And here it's now time to just act on it and be done. That's just how I feel about it. All right, is there anything else for Leo for the month of November? Any other messages, any other insight, any other things that have to be said to Leo for the month of November? And three's the charm. All right, folks. That is your reading for November, Leos. If you want to get a deeper dive, you can reach out to me at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. If you're trying to work on your finances and get your finance situation together, check out the playlist, Get This Money, for the month of November. I will be doing that every month. And if you want to check out the website, wooingnature.life, there's other services there. We do meditation, we do Reiki, we do other card readings, we also do astrology. Whichever way you want to manage your life intuitively, we have a way for you to get that done. But it's all about managing life. You got to learn how to manage your life right now. A lot of people are having difficulty with that. They don't know what to do because things are a little chaotic right now, not just for you, but for a lot of people. And we need to get ourselves back in alignment. We need to manage our lives in a way that's in tune with the earth, the stars, moon, each other, all of that. And that's why we're discombobulated. I'm just saying. All right. So if you need to reach out to me, you know where to go. And I hope you have a great November, and I hope you're having a wonderful life.